Sometimes it can be hard being an individual because it's a path of mastery. It's almost like being a samurai that would go alone in the mountains and go on a quest for years and years to find himself. And for me, it's more of a spiritual journey. My name's Jamal, and I'm a creative artist, dancer, and photographer. I've always grew up in a music environment. My dad started this charity called Community Recording Studio. I've been going there since I was in a pushchair, and that's how I got into creativity really, was through the love of music. Going to studio with my dad every day, doing late nights, eating kebab. It would always treat me to a kebab or a fizzy drink. My love through music transferred into other art forms in other directions. There used to be a dance group in Nottingham. I used to watch their dance group and I used to say to myself, oh, I wish I could dance like that. I was into movement. I used to copy off Tim Burton films. I used to love the stop motion and the way the characters used to jitter. I was always drawn to the movement of creatures and animals. And I was watching a video called Jay-Z Picasso Baby. On the credits of the video, I looked at every artist that was involved, and I like to do my research, and I stumbled upon one dancer named Storyboard P. And from there, it just opened up a whole nother world of dancing. Something that I've never seen before, and it just completely took my imagination, and something within me just opened up, and I just gradually began learning the style known as flexing, or mutant as well. Flex dancing derived from a foundational style called Brook-Up. Brook-Up is a style that came from Jamaica, and then there used to be this show called Flex in Brooklyn. A lot of the dance moves that Mr. Bogle and George Adams created, people started doing in them shows. The kids started calling it flexing because the show is called Flex in Brooklyn. To me, it's part of my life purpose. I feel like it's something I was meant to do, something I was born to develop. Every person that gets involved with it, you don't become a copy of the next person. It's about growing you from the inside out and becoming an individual through that. So for me, it appeals to my spiritual side. So I put a lot more spiritual emphasis on some of the dance moves and some of the concepts that I bring across when I'm dancing. There's a lot of love within the flexing community as far as I know. I was mentored by a dancer named Venom, who's a very close friend of mine. He's a flex dancer from Brooklyn. He taught me a few things, and in flexing we call it scrolls. So scrolls is the information passed down from generation to generation. It's the person's due to your job to take on that scroll, but not only learn the scroll the way it's been written, but also add your unique flavor and taste to it, and keep the foundational element of it and pass it on to the next generation. When you do a move, it goes into your nervous system and your muscles. Oftentimes in life, because we sat in certain positions or we have certain stresses, it can lock that information. So the brain can't access that information. So when I stretch, it gives me access to every point in my body, almost like meridian points. It helps unlock my nervous system, and it reminds me of my style of how I dance, because I have no references for my style because I don't record myself much. Stretching helps me come up with new moves. So it's almost like an instruction manual, and accessing it through stretching. It helps expand my limiting thoughts, feeling larger than life. I've never been so disciplined in something. I've stuck with it for 5 years, and I stretch an hour every day, sometimes 2 hours. I've always had a large imagination. I used to play imaginary games, and that's even before dancing. I've never felt I've been part of the world. I've always felt like I've been neutral within it and just existed within my own world within. Everything that I need in life really is within me. If I want to go and find it, I can just dance and access it and feel it from there. I started dancing in an abandoned basketball court or going to the park, and then just gravitated towards the streets. The energy of town, it feels euphoric, and it sends my brain into a creative frenzy. When I'm in that sort of pace, it gives me that motivation to keep dancing. It's almost like I'm taking energy out of the atmosphere and just transferring it into my dance and creating different things. And it's not about showing off or being better than anybody, it's just about a core self-confidence. The moment you achieve self-confidence within yourself, no one can move you. And for some reason, because dance is attached to my life purpose, I live through that, and that gives me my self-confidence. It's the only time I really have a lot of confidence because I'm connected on my life path. I love dancing in front of construction sites because that's where I get the most troubles. You just got to be like loving and understanding towards people and say like, oh, they're coming from like another perspective in life where they may not have grown up around art or certain cultures. So it's just about being as open as you can and loving as you can towards other people. Everybody's weird in some way. Everybody's different and unique. If you're using your imagination a lot, eventually you're going to numb your mind and tire your mind out. Dancing, it can send you a bit crazy. I use photography and filming to make money and keep myself grounded within the real world and hopefully set up a freelance career within that. Nottingham's really behind what I do. They always have my back and they're always like, wow, this is amazing. They're always like sharing my content and work no matter where I go. Being from a smaller city is the best. I don't really talk about my future much. I have this weird belief that you have to keep the energy of your future to yourself because it can be influenced by people's thoughts. But it doesn't involve helping my community on a large scale. I just follow my heart and I just love what I do and see where it goes. I'm a very free spirit. I believe it's going to take me somewhere because I visualize it every day when I'm dancing. I dance like I'm dancing in a video, or I dance like I'm dancing in a cinematic.